The vines need to suffer. It needs soils which are very, very poor. So the roots, the system of roots goes very, very deep in order to feed the grapes.
La Chapelle, 76, 72, 69, 66, 60. Oh my gosh, look at this. And it's 61. This really demonstrates the aging potential of some of the wines from the Rhone.
Oh, yes, completely. I mean, that's legendary vintage on a legendary wine. And that's really one of the most spectacular bottles we have in cellar, with a 78 and 90 as well. But this is great.
Now, for someone who's putting wine down in their cellar and they're going to age it, how does that change, the flavor profile change over time?
So when the wine is really young, a young Hermitage will bring a lot of fruit, young fruit, but very cooked, little marmalade of fruit. After 10 years, the wine moves slowly with some more mushrooms flavor. And then after 20, 25, 30, 40 years, it can go more on tobacco flavor and coffee flavor.
Okay, but not all the wines from the Côtes du Rhône have to age. Some of them are ready for drinking right away, right?
Yes, completely. I mean, if you consider the regional appellation like Côtes du Rhône Village, Gros Hermitage, and some Saint-Joseph or Vaccaras, I mean, most of them are very good to drink and very good to enjoy very quickly. But, you know, we also have some fabulous appellation, Châteauneuf-du-Pape, Hermitage, Côte-Rôtie, which require sometimes.
And that's one of the things with the Côtes du Rhône. There's something for every occasion and for every budget.
Exactly, completely. From the north, from the south, and everybody will find his pleasure in this region.
This is the single most important day of the year in Ampuis, on the slopes of Côte-Rôtie. A year's hard work for the growers culminates at this moment. It's a race against time for the Guigal family. Marcel, the family patriarch, oversees every detail of production. His son Philippe took over management of the winery in 1997 and works under the watchful eye of his father.
My luck today is that I work with my father. And I learn from him every day. So I've been lucky to spend a long time in the different universities. I know the theory, but I learn every day from the practice.
This day, local growers converge on the winery to watch their grapes harvest being delivered and graded. They will be paid according to the quality of their syrah.
We have the birthplace of the syrah or the Shiraz here in northern Rhone. So we grow it in our steep vineyards for more than 2,400 years. We will have a typical spicy syrah in northern Rhone with fresh tannins, with an aromatic profile that would be through black fruits, blackberries, etc.
Syrah, or Shiraz as it's often known in the New World, is often identified with heavy, almost quite jammy flavours. But in the northern Rhone, it's a completely different ballgame. You're more on the sort of subtlety, on the spice, and slightly herbaceous notes. You can have wines with incredible minerality that age for decades.
Now we journey into the southern Rhone, an area known as Provence, where the sun shines about 300 days a year.
Sans soleil, la fleur périt.
The small villages that spread across this region haven't changed much over time, except for tourists. They come here for the Mediterranean lifestyle, history, and beauty. This area shares a lot in common with the north, but the most obvious difference is found in the wine. The southern Rhône Valley is much broader than the north, with vineyards spreading out east and west from the river. The red wines from the east are generally fruitier and lighter in character, while the wines from the west are more full-bodied and tannic, with ripe black fruit. The south is also home to Tavel, France's only appellation dedicated exclusively to rosé table wines.
Very good sugar.
The most important thing to understand about wines from the southern Rhone is that the majority are blended from different grape varieties.
Good length, good balance, good ripeness.
If you have only one varietal, only one grape, for example Grenache, and you have a bad year of Grenache, what can you do? You do nothing. If you have 13, you can play with all the grapes, and so you can balance a bad year for one grape.
Imagine to have a great, complex Châteauneuf-du-Pape
It's very difficult to make it with only one grape. It's possible, but it's really depends on the soil. And Grenache, Syrah, mourvèdre together makes a complexity. They make a kind of complete wine.
When you're drinking a southern Côte de Rhône wine, you get a sense of where the wine comes from. You get transported to that place, which is Provence. And that's because the vignerons are trying to make wine that reflects the characteristics, the unique characteristics of the southern Rhone.
The southern Rhone is hard on these workers, but these rugged soils produce delicately flavored wines. Wines from the south must contain at least 40% Grenache, known for its rich fruit flavors, light acidity, and soft tannins. These are often blended with mourvèdre, syrah, cinsault, and carignan for added complexity.
If you want to make a vin de terroir, a wine which has the feeling and the taste of your soil, you have to forget the recipes, just to listen to the soil, just to listen to the wind, tank, etc.
No, it's never a recipe. So you have to see the harvest on an everyday basis. Each terroir is different. Vacqueyras is not Châteauneuf-du-Pape. Rasteau is not Gigondas. So each terroir must express itself.
Great wines come from suffering vines. It's something you hear all over the region. And winemakers know that growing conditions not only challenge them, but really contribute to the Rhone's quality. One of the most unique features of the climate in the Rhône Valley are these powerful winds called the mistral. They originate in France's central plateau and flow through the Rhône Valley. On their way through, they accelerate and can reach speeds of 70 to 90 kilometers per hour. The harvesters suffer along with the vines, but they know these winds mean healthy grapes, reducing the need for pesticides and herbicides.
Sometimes it drives us crazy, especially when it's blowing for about 9 days. But this wind is really important for us because Mistral starts blowing just after the rain.
Everything dries, and then you have the water in the soil, and the air is dry. That's perfect for the vine.
It prevents from disease, and it gives more concentration to the grape.
The character of the grape is influenced by the soil in which it's grown. Grenache grapes from Gigondas differ from Vacqueyras or even Châteauneuf-du-Pape. Thomas, when I taste Châteauneuf-du-Pape from some of the better vineyards, I get this flavor of minerality. Is that a result of the stones?
Yes, minerality in Châteauneuf-du-Pape come from the soil, come from these stones. So these stones were brought by the Rhône River 1,000 years ago,
right?
And were lived in the Châteauneuf-du-Pape terroir. And these stones are really important. They give the minerality to the wine, especially when the wine is aging. It expresses this minerality.
Okay.
These stones take the heat of the sun during the day, reflect it during the night, so you don't have very cool night. It's quite hot. And when it's raining, the rain goes through the stones, so you don't have a wet vineyard, so it's dry.
You can smell some of the flavors that you're picking up in the wine, that mineral element, it really comes through.
Yes, especially when the wine is aging, you can smell the galets, you can smell the stones.